What is going on, guys? It is Caleb, and today I'm going to show you guys another Codecademy tutorial. Today we're going to continue where we left off in the last video. We're still on HTML Basics 2, yet today we are going to create, we're going to learn how to create really cool different styles, and we're going to learn how to style our fonts. Pretty much we're going to edit with some styling, inline styling today. So if you're not ready at Codecademy, go on and head over to Codecademy. And also, if you're not watching in full screen, make sure to watch in full screen. I'm going to go ahead and reset the code. So, first thing that we're going to learn about today in this exercise is making comments. We have covered a lot about lists. Let's change gears and do some styling. If you recall, HTML is a skeleton of the web page, and CSS lets you give the skeleton some skin and makeup. But it is possible to do some inline CSS. This simply means we can do some styling in our HTML file without worrying about a separate CSS file. And we'll cover CSS later on. And CSS is also known as Cascade Style Sheets. So that's something very important to remember, and we'll get in a lot more detail in the next couple chapters as we go through our Codecademy Web Fundamentals course. Anyways, we'll learn this first because will make learning CSS a lot easier later on. Before we dive into fonts, it's important to learn about making comments. You can include little notes in your HTML code that the browser won't display, but it will be in the code to help you remember why you did certain things. So the instructions are: comment starts with a little greater than, less than sign, whatever the heck that is, exclamation mark, double dash, and end with a double dash and a closing tag, like so. So what it wants us to do is make line 1 into a comment. If we go ahead and view our preview right now, we have the very first line of our code, which is line 1, that says make me into a comment. At the moment, temporarily, it is visible on our web page, and that's bad. So as you can see, our paragraph tag is showing, and it says but leave me visible. So let's go back to our editor and create or turn line 1 into a comment. I'm going to do this once again. Just do the little start tag, double dash, and you'll see that it'll turn gray instead of little violet, red, whatever that kind of color that was, pinkish color. And now if you end it off with a double dash and the end tag, you'll see that the middle, on the third line, we still have color to our paragraph tags. And if we go back to our preview, we have but leave me visible, and our comment is commented out of the code. So we go ahead and save and submit. We'll get the green light and way to go. So let's start our next little exercise here. We're going to learn about font size. We call that the paragraph tags are opening and closing tags. We can give tags more instructions by including attributes in the opening tags. An attribute is simply a characteristic or some description for the content in the element. You saw this with the source in the image tags and hrefs in the anchor tags. Let's change the size of the text. How? We will use a style attribute. We make it equal to the font dash size followed by a followed by a colon, then the size you want, ending with a px, short for pixels. For example, P or paragraph, and then this is the inline style when we declare our style attribute. Now note, we are still within the opening tag. Style equals, then within quotation marks, whatever we want to specify, and then whatever we want to change it to, as in this case we're specifying the font dash size, and then we're telling it to set it to 12 pixels. So note, if you're having trouble with your font sizes, reset your browser zoom by pressing Command 0 or Control 0. Be very careful not to nest your tags incorrectly. If you type the start of a P tag, then another start of a P tag font, you're just pretty much putting a paragraph within a paragraph tag, and that's not going to work. So instructions are: on line 7, make this text size 10. So right here, on line 7, we have a paragraph, so go ahead and create a style attribute. So go ahead and type style equals, and once again, we're going to do font dash size colon, and we're creating this or we're making this to 10 pixels. Now let's go ahead and go to the second paragraph, and we just want to add another inline style. So once again, create a style attribute, make sure to put your quotation marks, and once again, specify the font dash size, put your semicolon, and set it to 20 pixels this time. And finally, last but not least, go down to the third paragraph, add another style tag, font dash size, or it wasn't a style tag, style attribute, my fault, and change the pixels to 40 pixels this time. And if we go ahead and view our preview, we have really small text. This is a 10 pixel text, and then we have the 20 pixel text, some text where you make normal, and then we have this extremely large, super big text that is 40 pixels big. So we go ahead and save and submit. We get the green light, and let's go ahead and go on to the next lesson. Now we're going to learn a little bit about font color. What is awesome about style attribute is that we use it a lot, and we can use it with many different tags, not just the paragraph tag. Let's now change the colors of our text in a heading. To change the color of text, simply add the style attribute in the opening tag, then make the style equal to color blue, or whatever color you like. For example, we have a heading 2 tag, and we have the inline style, and we're specifying the color, and we're changing the color to red. So whatever is within that heading 2 tag is going to be red. What if you want to change the color and the size of the text? Simple. Just add a semicolon between each bit. For example, if we wanted to make our heading 2 tag style, we want to make its color green, plus we wanted to have a font size of 12 pixels, we just say color green, and then we make sure to put this little semicolon, for we are creating a new command, and we're specifying the font dash size, and we're setting it to 12 pixels. So just make sure that have a semicolon between each statement that you are making. A full list of available colors can be found here. So the instructions are to change the heading color to green and its size to 16 pixels. So we go over up to our H1 heading, we add a style attribute. Go ahead and set the font dash size to 16. So font dash size 16. And as you can see here, I did this in a different order. Instead of saying the actual color, or changing the color green first and then specifying the font dash size, I specified the font dash size, then I'm changing the color green. No, it does not matter which order you put the styles statements in the style attribute, for it's going to do it all at the same time. So it doesn't matter if you tell it to change the size of the pixels first or to change the color first, it will do it both simultaneously. So go ahead and change the color to green. And now if we go ahead and view a preview right quick, we do have a big heading that is green, and it has a pixel size of 16. Now change the color of the first paragraph to violet, and just to do this, just once again add an inline style and change the color to violet. Now in the third paragraph, it wants us to change, or the second paragraph, my mistake, change the paragraph to red and its font size to 10 pixels. So once again, inline style, color, and it wants it to be red, semicolon, and then font dash size, and it wants it to be 10 pixels. Make sure to add your px at the end of 10, and if we go ahead and save and submit, we get the green light, and here we have the big heading, and then a violet pixels and a really small red lettering down there at the very bottom. So let's go ahead and start the next lesson. So now we get to learn a little bit about font family. If I go ahead and reset this code, well, it didn't do nothing. Oh well. We've covered font colors and font sizes, but what if we want more power? We want to decide that what font type to use. In HTML, this is called the font dash family. To change font type, simply add the style attribute in the opening tag. Then make the style equal to the font family, and then whatever font family you want. In this case, we're changing the font family to Helvetica, whatever that word is. So the instructions are to change the font size of the first listed item to 16 pixels and the font to Garmin. So to do this, we go into the first list item and we add our inline style attribute. Now let's do font dash family, since this is the new this is our new code that we're learning. And what we're gonna do, we put the semicolon and we're gonna say Garmin. Now make sure or colon, not semicolon. Now add a semicolon. My fault. And change font dash size. Make sure to put a colon and change it to 16 px. Now if we go here and view the preview right quick, we should have a different different font, in which we do. It's a little bit different. You can see that the T, if you can see that on your screen, it's a little bit different T, but let's go back to our editor and finishing out our instructions. So change the font size of the second listed item to 12 pixels and the font family to Bodini. So once again, add your inline style, do font dash family, and change it to Bodini, or Bodini, however you want to pronounce it. And then once again, change your font size to 12 pixels. So font dash size colon 12 px, and there we're good. Now for the third listed item, we want to change it to 10 pixels with the font to Futura. So add your inline style, font dash family, Futura, semicolon, now font dash size. And we're changing this one to 10 pixels. So if we go ahead and first, actually, we save and submit. Oops, we got the error, but let's go back. Looks kind of right. What's wrong here? What do we got? So, what we did wrong here? Oh, capital F and not lowercase f. Make sure to spell things correctly. And there we go. We have the correct statements there. So as you can see, we have different styles and different font sizes for 3 different listed items. And we go ahead and start the next lesson. So a little bit of recap. Awesome job. You've now got control of your web page, including the color, size, and type of your font. To recap, we use the style attribute in the opening tag like so. Font dash size, colon, the size you want it to make it. In this case, we're making 14 pixels, and then we're adding the px, which stands for pixels. And to change the color, we're just saying color, colon, and then whatever color we would like. And finally, we're saying font dash family, colon, and then the font family name that we want to change it to. In this case, we're changing it to Bodini. So what we want to do now is the instructions on line 7. Make the font have a size of 20 pixels. So let's go ahead and just add a style. And it wants to have size, or font dash size. And we want to change it to 20 px. Color blue, so color, colon, blue. Make sure that a semicolon, and then font dash family, colon, and then Garmin. And we save and submit. We have a truly spectacular paragraph that is blue in Garmin fonted. So guys, if this tutorial helped you guys out, make sure to leave the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe for more in future videos. If you ever get stuck, leave a comment down below. I'll be glad to come down and help you guys. Until next time guys, have a nice night.